I am so excited to learn that we may receive grade level books that address diversity and social emotional learning. I really believe that having those books that reflect our many, many different rich cultures at our school will affirm and validate the children and their families in our community. Books that address diversity as well as social emotional learning are truly that investment into creating this foundation of inclusivity, a sense of a belonging, and true acceptance, where children of all cultures can really learn to accept each other. I really wish we had those books when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s that reflected my Chinese and Filipino culture. I recently read the book Isaac Kiss in the Corner, and one of my students reflected on it, and he said it made him feel so warm inside. So that was a really good example of acceptance.
The school needs more diverse books because you can include everybody in the book, not just like white people. And black people is important too, because people have feelings too. That you can't just only think about white people and not think about the black people, because black people, you have to include everybody into everything.
I also think that the school needs more diverse books because we are both Filipino, and I rarely see any Filipino books in the library or in the school, overall. I just rarely see it. I haven't seen it in my older schools, but I think it would just be better if we could see our culture in a book too.
I've never made a connection with a character in a book, but if I saw a book with Jewish kids or people who have colored hair or people from the same culture as me, it would be really cool and I would be super happy.
Yeah, a few months ago I was reading a book series called Harry Potter, and there were two twin girls. I don't remember their names, but I told my mom their names, and she said those are really common names in our culture. And when I watched the Harry Potter movies, they were brown like me.
I'm from Japan and I like to see Japanese words.
I like Japan and I'm from Japan, and this book is special for me because there was a Japanese word at the back of the page.
The thing I like about Legos is how I can use my imagination and build really cool things without the instructions, and just using creativity and just building with no instructions.
The fact that you can be very creative, you can make whatever you want. Also, the fact that once you're making something and it doesn't go exactly as you want, you could go along with it and make something even better than you expected.
I like Legos because you can just be creative and fiddle around with the Legos. You don't have to you could go beyond what the instructions say and create something more than what you could have thought of.
So having more iPads in kindergarten would be so helpful. It would solve the problem that we have where we're looking for additional resources to help our different kindergartners at their level. So programs like Lexia, ST Math, Handwriting Without Tears, all of those programs can be accessed on the iPad, which is much more easily accessible for our kindergartners than a Chromebook. and it meets them where they are. So each child's level is integrated into their apps, and that way they're able to access it and meet them where they need to be. It's also going to help us so much because we like to pull small groups to differentiate our different learning, and so having students at their desks being able to work on an educational program while we pull other students to work in small groups is very beneficial for our students. Additionally, we adopted the program Handwriting Without Tears, and there's a wonderful program on the iPad that's called Wet, Dry, Try. And basically it helps the students form the letters in the correct direction, in the correct way, and it gives them immediate feedback if they're going the wrong way, if they're forming the letter incorrectly, and that way they can keep trying over and over again, and they're also increasing their fine motor skills. So that's another benefit that those iPads will be able to produce.
Helps me work as a team with my other friends, and sometimes it lets me know some ideas that I might not think of myself. And I also enjoy like solving puzzles because I don't know, since I was like a kid I liked solving like actual jigsaw puzzles, and it's kind of like that. And these breakout rooms have like locks, and those you solve problems to unlock those locks, and we've been doing these digitally, and I personally enjoyed them. What about you?
Yes, I do enjoy doing breakout activities. Our teacher sometimes lets us do digital breakout rooms, and we usually get to work with a partner and solve codes, so we figure it all out.
Well, we would like if we could do it more physically rather than virtually, because on Google Slides, like, we have to get from there to all the way to the Google Forms, and it's hard to copy everything down. But with just a lock physically, it's much more easier.
It's just like escape rooms.
And I think that really motivates kids to like get learning,
Use their brains.